Welcome to County Report this week. I'm Lorna Virgili. Thank you for joining us. Coming up in the next half hour, the City of Rockville is targeting seniors to live within city limits. And the Tree Montgomery program is underway. 30 trees were planted this week in Chevy Chase. But first, the county's Department of Economic Development faces major changes. County Executive Ike Leggett proposes to replace it with a public-private authority. The county's Department of Economic Development will disappear. This if County Council approves an upcoming proposal by Executive Ike Leggett.
We will shift our current operation from a government-controlled operation to a private corporation that would in fact do all of the things that our current operations are in fact engaged in economic development. It is anticipated that if we do this, we do it right, then we can enhance the business community much more broadly and enhance Montgomery County's competitive edge. It is not something that is new. It is, in fact, in many other jurisdictions, it is simply something that we are adopting in Montgomery County for the first time.
It will be the creation of a public-private authority with a 7 to 9 person board of business leaders appointed by the county executive and approved by council.
Well, it'll be all of the business sectors. In fact, it would be entirely made up of business people within the community. We anticipate that there may be some ad hoc government representative, but the voting members of the authority will be business representative. And we anticipate having all from small businesses to all types of businesses within Montgomery County to get the breadth and depth of those experiences to help guide our economic challenges for the future.
The board will decide whether to retain about 40 Department of Economic Development employees. According to the executive, those workers who do not transition to the new format will be transferred within county government. Leggett expects to propose the authority this month, and Council President George Leventhal has already expressed his support.
I've been briefed on the county executive's proposal. My sense is that the council will move forward with the creation of a new entity, but I have not yet had the chance to touch base with all of my colleagues. We don't yet have the proposal before us, but we cannot let this decision linger. One way or another, it needs to be resolved rapidly. I'd like to see us turn to it right after the budget so that we can move forward with our economic development efforts without a lot of uncertainty on the part of the staff who need to be carrying those efforts out. So I do support the concept, and I don't know if a majority of the council does. I'm going to be working to ascertain that.
The truancy prevention program is designed to increase student attendance by assisting students and their families with issues that impact attendance. The program is in its 5th year, and council members recently received an update on how it's doing reducing absenteeism. Susan Kennedy reports.
The program is currently serving 116 students in 10 middle schools in Montgomery County. Preliminary results of the study indicate that 67% of the students who participate in the truancy program improve their attendance within the first year.
The results are tremendous. When we look at who the clients are, primarily our minority students, both African Americans and Hispanics and Latinos. And so certainly from that perspective, it certainly is a priority for us when we talk about the achievement gap, making sure that we re-engage these students.
Though officials are pleased with the success of the program, there are still concerns as to how to reach those students who are not flourishing. Councilmember Rice says giving these kids the support they need to succeed should be a priority.
Part of our conversation was also about how we can continue to help foster the mission of the truancy program when it comes to providing additional resources to help them with a lot of the challenges that they're seeing that are facing a lot of our kids.
The state's attorney's office has plans to expand the truancy program to 5 more schools in the next school year. In the meantime, council members have asked the school system to give them the academic performance data of the participants for further review of the program.
Because at the end of the day, we not just need them in school, but we need them in school participating, engaged, and doing better. But I think it's a good sign that when you can, as a result of a program, actually get the kids into school, that's a big step forward.
In Rockville, I'm Susan Kennedy for County Report This Week.
Many gather at Vis Arts in Rockville to honor those who have contributed to a very important program. MCPS TV has that story.
Music from the Sherwood High School Jazz Combo filled the air April 15th as the Montgomery County community gathered to celebrate one of its most successful partnerships, Linkages to Learning.
We're here at Viz Arts here in Rockville Town Center, and we're here to celebrate and to honor all of our volunteers and our wonderful donors. This was actually sponsored by Choice Hotels, and we certainly couldn't do all of our work that we do in our schools without our many, many volunteers and our many donors who really give to our program. Linkages to Learning is a unique partnership with Montgomery County Public Schools and government agencies, Department of Health and Human Services, and we serve out there in our schools. We serve 29 schools and serve at-risk students.
Linkages to Learning relies in part on volunteers to help connect families in need with services such as health care, food and housing, as well as educational supports. County Executive Isaiah Leggett remarked on the importance of the Linkages program.
We have a wonderful county with tremendous services, an excellent school system, but in order to take full advantage of that system, to have the proper atmosphere to learn, to get the maximum results from our students, oftentimes we need to remove or eliminate certain barriers because the playing field or the educational field is not equal for everyone.
County Executive Leggett presented certificates and awards to distinguished honorees representing 280 volunteers and donors with more than 15,000 hours of service. The event culminated when Jorge Vargas Machuca, a 2013 graduate of Gaithersburg High School and Linkages client and volunteer, received the $2,000 Michael L. Subin Scholarship, presented by the scholarship's namesake, a former county council member who helped create the Linkages program.
Thank you so much for Mr. Michael Subin for giving me this great opportunity, this great scholarship. It really means the world to me, not only to me but to my family as well. I just also want to thank Linkages to Learning as well. They're like amazing people. Their goal is to help families like my family, and I'm gonna be grateful for the rest of my life for that. Thank you so much, guys.
In just a few weeks, the new Silver Spring Library will open its doors. The grand opening ceremony is scheduled for Saturday, June 20th at 11 a.m. The grand opening has been planned for the public to celebrate Montgomery County Public Library's newest building in its award-winning system. Staff will now move to the new building to begin the final preparation required to open the branch. The 5-story building will house the library on the 3rd, 4th, and 5th floors. This new state-of-the-art library is located at 900 Wayne Avenue in downtown Silver Spring. The planting of more than 30 trees took place at Round Hill Apartments in Chevy Chase, a community that lost many large shade trees due to age and storm damage. This was the inaugural tree planting for the county's newest environmental program, Tree Montgomery. The program provides for the planting of large shade trees throughout the county to increase canopy cover and help raise awareness of the benefits of trees.
As we are demonstrating here today, multifamily family units are an ideal place for us to continue to plant trees. You've heard of all the benefits that they provide, but those benefits cannot be realized unless we have the active input of all people working together to make certain that it happens.
Each fall through early spring, Tree Montgomery will plant shade trees at single-family homes, multi-family properties, and in businesses' parking lots. To start planning for a fall planting, visit treemontgomery.org. When we come back, Rockville wants seniors to stay and live in the city. And we will show you some of the photos received by county residents to document a day in the life. County Report this week returns right after this short break.
Did you know there are more than 10,000 county government phone numbers? But there's only one number you need to remember for non-emergency calls, 311. MC311 is Montgomery County government's online telephone information system. Need information? Have a problem or complaint? Trying to locate a county government facility? Call 311. The call center is open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The website is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
In Montgomery County, we have a goal to reduce waste and recycle 70% of all waste by 2020. By recycling and reducing waste, we save natural resources and make our community even better. So recycle at home, work, school, everywhere, and keep recycling going. For more information, call the Montgomery County, Maryland Division of Solid Waste Services at 311 or visit montgomerycountymd.gov/recycling.
Keep it going. Recycle more now.
Welcome back to County Report this week. I'm Lorna Virgili. Senior residents in Rockville tell us there is much to do in the city. This is part of efforts to keep that population living active. Rockville 11 brings us a story.
When asked why it is so great to be a senior in Rockville, the answers are many and varied.
Because there's so many things to do. There's lots of places to go.
There are a lot of opportunities in Rockville.
Rockville offers a lot of opportunities for residents of all ages to be active and enjoy life, especially seniors.
If you just look at their catalogs, it's amazing how much they have available for people.
You can get a lunch for a very reasonable price for $1 donation or more, and you can take fitness classes, and you can use the fitness room and do exercise.
For seniors who are not gym fans, like Barbara Attardi, free courses allow her to learn new knowledge.
I'm taking a French course and finishing my French homework and doing some writing, and it's keeping me pretty busy.
Seniors are especially thankful that the senior center makes their lives easier, such as by sending a bus to pick them up at home.
And the bus stops right at my door. What more can you ask for?
I interface with the outreach worker. I'm looking for a new apartment, and she gave me good leads to call for those.
In addition to receiving help from the center, Dorothy said she also loves the opportunity to contribute as a service provider.
I volunteer in the gift shop, and that's fun and get to interact with people.
Bailey Russell said convenience is the key why she moved to Rockville.
Everything you can walk to, that's what I like. And I purposely moved there because I knew that was being built. And everything's right there, the library, my church is across the street. It's wonderful.
You know, there's help everywhere. I just have to figure out how to allocate my time to everything. It's a great area. I love Rockville.
For more information about the Senior Center and the many activities there, go to rockvillemd.gov/senior center. For County Report this week, I'm Sheng Lim.
Those who live, work, and play in Montgomery County were encouraged to take part in Montgomery Community Media's 3rd annual Day in the Life event by sending photos to document their day. My MC Media's Alini Barros reports.
Through the eyes of the community, we went out to find out what is your day like, whether you work, play, or live in Montgomery County.
It all begins with a County Council proclamation marking April 22nd as a day in the life of Montgomery County.
We'll seek to document the evident and the behind-the-scenes views of Montgomery County through cameras, video lenses, and cell phone footage from volunteer contributors.
The day starts early for some county residents. Up before the sun, people were already baking, serving coffee, or getting ready for a school day. Montgomery Community Media encouraged everyone to participate.
It's a unique snapshot of a one 24-hour period in Montgomery County, showing kind of the diversity, incredible diversity that we enjoy here in Montgomery County.
Whether you was playing instruments, attending a job interview, or serving those in need, more than 1,000 pictures showed how members of the community engage with each other. We went from Burtonsville to Poolsville, from Silver Spring to Potomac, and also visited Durwood, Winton, and Rockville to see how you spent your day.
Today, like every other day, is different.
My day, I work for the judges in the district court in Silver Spring District Courthouse, and it's kind of hectic. Part of my job is getting interpreters when people request one.
I decided to have a virtual office anywhere I am, and it's working out. And this is one of my favorite places.
Well, our days can be very varied about what we're doing, whether we're in court or we're out meeting with someone.
I try to work the middle of the day where I can come in and see a little bit of lunch, a bit of dinner, walk through the lines, taste, touch all the food, prep new food.
It was also Earth Day. Rockville citizens celebrated their day planting new trees and raising awareness about the importance of protecting our environment. We saw where you work, where you play, and where you live. Take a look at them on our website. For County Report this week, I'm Eleni Barros.
A great season for the Montgomery College track and field team just keeps getting better. MCTV's Michael Brown has the latest.
The MC track and field team is enjoying a record-breaking year, and the men's 4x400-meter relay team added to the luster of the season when they qualified to run at the prestigious Penn Relays in Philadelphia. The Penn Relays are the nation's oldest and most celebrated track event. They've been continuously running since 1895, and they're held each year at historic Franklin Field. The Penn Relays draw some of the most outstanding track and field teams in the world. National teams from track-crazy countries like Jamaica and Trinidad Tobago, top track programs from universities like Texas A&M, LSU, Texas and Tennessee, and over 1,000 high schools. Just a handful of two-year schools qualified, but MC proudly stood tall as one of them. It was the biggest stage any of MC's runners had ever appeared on, and naturally they were quite nervous. The MC team of Sheldon Wilson, Sam Bambosi, Roland Daughtry, and Sahid Oishile ran hard and ran well. But because they've set the bar so high for themselves, they weren't quite satisfied.
We ran a good race, but we could have done better. Penn Relays, it's a great experience to run over here. You know, it's a new track. The curves are longer, but we still came out here and we ran.
But the team understood the honor of competing literally against the best in the world.
You know, we're a D3 school going up against like the big boys like UMD, LSU. You know, that's just some of them. So it's a blessing to be here, and we're going to keep going at it. We're going to keep doing this every year, and we're going to prosper every year.
Just getting there and competing at such a prestigious event is a testament to the hard work and dedication of these fine athletes. It was a thrill for these MC students, something they'll never forget. For County Report this week from Montgomery College, I'm Michael Brown.
Coming up on County Report this week, we meet with one of the nationally known authors that will be part of the Gaithersburg Book Festival. And the youth of Montgomery County have a way of getting around this summer. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Welcome back to County Report this week. I'm Lorna Virgili. Best-selling author Jeffrey Deaver visited the Bethesda Library to talk about his new book and the business of writing a book. My MC Media's Sonia Burke reports.
I'm at the Bethesda Library, which was the setting of a literary event featuring best-selling author Jeffrey Deaver.
What I thought I'd do is talk a little bit about how I put together a novel.
The author of over 30 books, he's an expert on writing and known around the world for his thrillers. His latest book is due out in May.
The new book is very scary. It's called Solitude Creek, and for your viewers who are not familiar with what I do, I'm a very sick and twisted individual. Of course, I wrote The Bone Collector. That was the movie with Denzel Washington and Angelina Jolie, and that's kind of typical of the book I write. It's a very fast-paced story, lots of twists and turns. A lot of terrible stuff happens in between the beginning page and the last page, but generally they have pretty happy endings, but you're going to sweat along the way, and Solitude Creek falls right into that category.
His fans said they were excited to see him at this event. We even found a fellow author in the crowd.
I'm here because Jeff Deaver is the guy I would like to be when I grow up.
Big fan?
Truly my favorite thriller author. He does everything right, and studying his work can make us all better.
I got a hug. So I have a basket full of his books at home. They are so intriguing, and I hope he keeps on putting Lincoln Rhyme in there. It is just exciting. It's more than Alfred Hitchcocking. It doesn't leave you wondering at the end. It just flows right into the next plot. It's like, wow, I'm looking forward to the next book.
If you miss this event, you can see Mr. Deaver at the Gaithersburg Book Festival on May 16th.
Come out, see me, meet me. I'm not as scary as I look and not as scary as the books sound. If you want a kind of a fun time, I like to do a bit of comedy when I do my presentations, and you'll also learn a lot about writing and about these miraculous little rectangular things we call books.
For County Report This Week, I'm Sonia Burke.
And this is just a reminder that the Gaithersburg Book Festival takes place from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on May 16th at the grounds of Gaithersburg City Hall. From the newest book lovers to avid teen readers and writers, the Gaithersburg Book Festival once again will bring literature to life for readers of all ages. Activities include author appearances, discussions and book signings, writing workshops, a children's village, on-site sales of new and used books, literary exhibitors, and food, drink, ice cream, and more. The Book Festival's website is your best source for planning your visit. You can see the schedule of the author presentations and signings online at gaithersburgbookfestival.org. And for this summer, we would like to remind county youth that they can obtain the Youth Cruiser's Smart Trip card in order to take unlimited ride-on bus rides. The Youth Cruiser card can be obtained at any of the county's libraries at a cost of $2. Users can opt to pay $11 for a full month of unlimited rides during the summer, or $18 for 3 months of unlimited rides. The program is intended to help youth get out and about during the summer.
The Youth Cruiser Pass is a Smart Trip card specifically for Montgomery County residents 5 to 18. And they can use that to put on monthly passes or summer passes, but also to share the bus operator for Kids Ride Free, Monday through Friday, 2 to 8. So it's one of those cards that will give access to the Metrobus and ride-ons all throughout Montgomery County.
The only requirements are to be a county resident and between the ages of 5 and 18.
Coming up in County Report this week, we'll see who's attempted to set a new Guinness Book World Record in Montgomery County.
And be ready to meet our Pet of the Week. Stay with us. County Report This Week is coming right back.
Montgomery College President Dr. Darian Pollard received the 2015 Emerging Leader Award by the American Association of Community Colleges. She was honored for developing a new mission and a bold strategic plan for creating partnerships and for implementing a new academic structure. MC's Enactus team finished second in their division and 17th overall out of 180 institutions at the Enactus National Exposition in St. Louis. The competition challenged students to develop projects that improve the livelihoods of people in need. Nationally recognized journalists Cokie and Steve Roberts will receive honorary degrees and speak at MC's annual commencement ceremony when the class of 2015 is honored on May 22nd. You can watch the ceremony live online at montgomerycollege.edu/commencement.
Welcome back to County Report This Week. I'm Lorna Virgili. St. Elizabeth Catholic School in Rockville is a U.S. Department of Education Blue Ribbon School, and now it might also add Guinness World Record holder as well. Krista Brick has the report.
I'm at St. Elizabeth Catholic School in Rockville, where the cats in the hats are the kids in the school. And if you count everyone, it's a world record. What fun!
3, 2, 1.
Students, staff, parents, and members of the community donned the red and white cat in the hat hats to beat the current Guinness World Record of 1,000 people. They lined up, counted off, and when the horn blew, hats were on heads for 5 minutes to make it official.
I've wanted to get in the Guinness Book of World Records for years and years and years, and I had to find something that was doable. The conga line was great, but I think you need 109,000 people to do it, so that was definitely out. We had 1,200 hats. All the hats were gone, so we definitely had 1,200 people. The record was 1,000. We're in good shape.
The event was to fall on Dr. Seuss's birthday in March, but it was canceled due to weather. There were sunny skies and a lot of excitement for the makeup day.
Well, the kids love Dr. Seuss, and as you know, he inspired all sorts of great authors, and we do live in the golden age of children's literature. So now we are gathering all the children together to break the world record in honor of Dr. Seuss, because he's made such an impression on students and their reading.
Yeah!
It was really cool, you know, getting in the Guinness Book of World Records. It's cool to be in it. You can say you're in it. For the little kids, it's a little hard to keep them on, but it was really fun.
It's pretty cool, and I'm looking forward to see it in the Guinness World Record.
Even parents got into the act.
I could not pass up the opportunity to be in the Guinness Book of World Records, especially with this wonderful school.
It's a great event. It's a nice weather, an opportunity to pull the families together and also to support the school.
Rockville's Mayor Bridget Newton and Ken Goggin, Assistant Superintendent for Catholic Schools in the D.C. Archdiocese, served as the official witnesses and counters.
I didn't realize things like this went on, but I just thought it was a great way to bring all the children together, to celebrate reading, to get people excited, and to have a little fun.
For County Report this week, I'm Krista Brick.
Let's meet our Pet of the Week. Kathy Stanhope joins us from the Montgomery County Animal Service and Adoption Center with more. Kathy?
Your Pet of the Week this week is something a little different. As you can see, we have a lovely little duckling here. We have 4 at the shelter. So if you ever think of just the animal services for dogs and cats, remember we have a little bit of everything. If you're ever looking for any type of an animal to adopt, please contact us at 240-773-5900 or Montgomery County Animal Services and Adoption Center.gov. We have specialists who can help you find what you are looking for. So remember, please adopt when you are looking to add to your family. It's really the best thing to do.
Now it's time for our final Heritage Montgomery Civil War moment. Our last installment left off as the state of Maryland adopted a new constitutional amendment abolishing slavery in the state. This segment picks up with events leading to the end of a war. Here is Barbara Grombaum with more.
The nation didn't know it yet, but as 1864 was coming to a close, so was the war that had torn it apart for nearly 4 years. Edwards Ferry was the site of the last engagement in the county. Colonel Elijah White and his men skirmished there with the 1st Delaware Cavalry in February 1865. 2 months later, Lee surrendered his Army of Northern Virginia on April 9th at Appomattox. Just 5 days later, the country was rocked at the news that President Lincoln had been shot at Ford's Theater in Washington. Montgomery County became involved when one of the conspirators, George Atzerodt, was captured at his relative's farm in Germantown. While the farmhouse is no longer standing, it was located here, near Richter Farm Road, in a recently developed part of Germantown. Because Montgomery County residents were divided in their loyalties, there were those who remained sympathetic with the Southern cause long after the war ended. On June 3, 1913, this bronze statue was erected in front of the courthouse in Rockville. During 1970's urban renewal, public outcry called for its removal, citing racism. But instead, it was moved to this less conspicuous location next to the 1891 red brick courthouse. The Civil War remains the deadliest war in the history of the United States. For 4 long years, Americans fought Americans, struggling to define the meaning of freedom for this country. Like every place touched by this grim conflict, the Civil War took its toll on Montgomery County. Reconstruction, the period of adjustment that followed, yielded only a few real advances for African Americans. While the Constitution now afforded certain rights to people of color, another 100 years would have to pass before they began to see some benefits from the economic, civil, educational, and political freedoms envisioned at the end of the American Civil War. For County Report This Week, I'm Barbara Grunbaum.
And that concludes the Heritage Montgomery series commemorating the 150th anniversary of the Civil War. For complete information about life in Montgomery County during that war, go to heritagemontgomery.org. And with that, we close this edition of County Report This Week. Remember to like us on Facebook and to join us again at this time every week for a look at what's going on inside Montgomery County. We leave you with some footage from a recent dedication ceremony. The city of Tacoma Park unveiled a new bronze plaque honoring former Mayor Sam Abbott for his persistent activism and accomplishments during his lifetime. I'm Lorna Vigili, and thank you for watching.